Welcome, explorers, and get your magnifying glasses ready for the great plant adventure. Today, you and I are going to become plant detectives, and our mission is to uncover all the secrets of the amazing plants that are all around us.
Okay, every good detective needs a map, and here's ours. First, we'll figure out a plant's secret identity. Then, we'll meet all the different parts, find out their super secret jobs, learn about different kinds of plants, and finally, test our new detective skills. Ready? Let's go! All right, our very first mystery starts right now. We see plants everywhere, right? But what are the secret parts that almost all of them share? Let's start looking for clues. Just look at all these different plants. Think about it. You could see a super tall mango tree, a beautiful rose bush with colorful flowers, or even a lemon plant. They all look so different, but here's a secret. They have a secret structure that's almost the same. So, this is our big question for today. What are those common parts? I want you to think about a plant you've seen recently. What did you notice about it? By the end of this adventure, you're going to be an expert and know the answer for sure.
It's time to meet our main suspects, the parts of a plant. And you know what? We're going to build one together, piece by piece, starting from way down deep under the ground. Okay, let's start digging. Way down under the dirt, hidden from our eyes, we find the roots. These are kind of like the plant's feet. They grab onto the soil and hold on tight so the plant can stand up tall and doesn't get blown over on a windy day.
Now, growing up from those roots, we see the stem. The stem is like the plant's backbone. It's really strong and sturdy, and its job is to hold everything else up, the branches, the leaves, and the flowers, so they can reach for that beautiful sunlight. And what grows out from the stem? It's the leaves. You've probably seen millions of these, right? They're usually flat and green, and let me tell you, they have a super important job that we're going to investigate soon. Here's a little clue. They're like tiny little chefs for the plant. And now for the prettiest part of our whole investigation. Now, not every single plant has them, but a lot of them do. We're talking about flowers. They come in all sorts of amazing shapes, sizes, and bright, beautiful colors. So cool. And you know what? After the flower does its job, some plants grow a yummy fruit. Like a juicy mango or a sweet, crunchy apple. And the fruit is extra special because its job is to protect the tiny little seeds hiding inside. And those seeds, well, they can grow into a whole new plant someday. And there it is, our complete plant. Look at that. From the roots holding it in the soil, to the stem, the leaves, and that beautiful flower. It's like a team where all the parts are working together to help the plant live and grow and make even more plants. Fantastic work, detectives. We've identified all the suspects, but our mission is not over. Nope. Now we've got to figure out their secret jobs. What does each part actually do all day? Let's crack this case. So it turns out each part of the plant has its own superpower. The roots act like straws, slurping up all the water and yummy food from the soil. The stem is like a superhighway, zipping that water all the way up to the top. The leaves, they're those tiny food factories, using sunlight to cook dinner. And the flower's special job? To make the seeds for all the new baby plants. Now, check out this awesome experiment. Someone put a plant in water with red food coloring, and after a little while, guess what happened? The stem and even the leaves started to turn red. This is perfect proof that the stem's super job is to act like a giant straw, carrying water all over the plant. Okay, remember how we called the leaves little chefs? Well, they take sunlight, water, and some air to make food for the entire plant. But here's the absolute coolest part. While they're cooking, they release oxygen, which is the exact air that you and I need to breathe. So really, the next time you see a leaf, you should give it a little nod and say, "Thanks." You are doing an amazing job, detectives. We know the parts, and we know their secret jobs. So now, let's learn how to group different kinds of plants, just like a real scientist would sort all their evidence. And we can do it by looking really closely at their stems. So first up, we have herbs. Think about plants like tomatoes or mint or chili plants. You can spot an herb because its stem is soft and kind of thin, and it's usually green. You could probably bend it pretty easily, and their roots don't go super deep into the soil. Next up, we've got shrubs. Now, shrubs are a bit tougher than herbs. Think of a rose bush. Their stems are hard and woody, and they're definitely bigger than herbs.
And here's a big clue for you detectives. A shrub has lots of branches that start growing from really close to the ground, which makes it look all bushy.
And of course, the biggest of them all are the mighty trees. You know, like giant mango trees or big shady oak trees. They have one super thick, long and strong woody stem that we call a trunk, and their roots have to go way, way down deep into the soil to hold up that huge size.
You know, we can actually group plants in another way too. We can check to see if they have flowers. Believe it or not, most plants you see, like almost 90% of them, are flowering plants. But some plants, like ferns and moss, are non-flowering. They have their own special way of making new plants, and usually like to hang out in cool, shady spots.
Okay, look at this. It's a great comparison. On one side, we have a rose, and on the other, a fern. Now use your detective eyes. Look closely. They both have roots, right? Yep. They both have a stem, and they both have leaves. But what is the one big difference you can spot? That's it. The rose has a flower, but the fern doesn't.
Well, you have been absolutely amazing detectives. You've totally cracked the case on plants. But now, it is time to test your skills in the Great Plant Pop Quiz. Are you ready for this?
Okay, here is your first question. Which of these plants does not have flowers? Think back to what we just investigated. Do you have your answer locked in?
Yes, the correct answer is C, fern. Ferns are one of those special plants that don't grow flowers. Wheat, paddy, and water lilies all do. Fantastic! 1 point for you.
All right, detective, here's your next case. Which part of the plant is the little chef, the one that cooks up all the food? Is it the leaves, the flowers, the roots, or the stem?
You got it again. The answer is A, leaves. Remember, they're the little food factories using all that sunlight to make energy for the whole plant. Wow, you are a natural at this.
Okay, here's the final question, so make it a good one. Remember when we were sorting plants by looking at their stems? How many different groups were there, and can you name them?
That is exactly right. There are 3 types: the soft-stemmed herbs, the bushy shrubs, and the tall, strong trees. Fantastic work, detective. You have passed this quiz with flying colors. You are now an official plant detective, but you know what? The mission isn't over. It's really just beginning. The next time you go outside, to a park, or even just look out your window, I want you to see how many different plant parts and types of plants you can find. Your next great adventure is waiting for you right outside your door. Keep exploring.